Welcome everyone to Beyond the Hub Critical AI Business Vision. I'm Amy Brierley, Head of Revenue at Babel Quest, and I'm thrilled to be here with our co-founder, Eric Murphy. Today, we're cutting through the AI hype to tackle an urgent challenge that 98% of business leaders face: being unhappy with their AI provider's vision whilst drowning in what we're calling extreme volatility across AI tools and platforms. Our goal is to give sales and business leaders a strategic roadmap to take control of their AI future.
That's right, Amy. We're diving into what we're calling shadow AI and why building your own AI vision is crucial, and how to manage that volatility, what it means to move from a reactive adoption to a strategic implementation, and we'll even share a framework and examples of companies that are doing this well and those who are struggling.
Yeah, let's jump in. You saw that survey showing 98% of leaders are unhappy with their AI provider's vision. And your first reaction was, yeah, I agree. But then I think something clicked for you. What was the deeper realization?
Yeah, so this is from the writer. So they do a lot of stuff in this space, and the first big finding from was 98% of leaders are unhappy with that vision. And I thought, yeah, 98%, it makes sense. It makes sense. But then I thought, hang on a minute. It's not really that vendors lack vision. Like OpenAI, they don't lack vision. Or does Google or Anthropic. These guys they're not lacking in vision at all. They've got huge visions for what they want to do with things. The problem is it's not yours. It's not your vision. It's not the vision for your company. And we're outsourcing something that should be core to our business, which is direction. We need to know where we're going with these things, and looking at the vision for these bigger companies and trying to expect the tool to take us there is
Yeah.
the that's where I think some of the problem is coming from.
Yeah, it totally resonates. I mean, from myself, from a sales perspective, we're constantly flooded with these AI solutions that don't necessarily fit our needs. It's like getting tools in search of a problem. And because they don't slot into our sales process, they actually just cause more noise and slow us down. And, you're kind of saying there, don't wait for a AI vendor to generate a vision for you. What does that mean practically, though?
It means taking ownership. It means picking one or two things your team actually needs help with, lead qualification or pipeline forecasting for something real, and test the AI tools against that goal. Don't let somebody else's roadmap shape your priorities.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's not about just where to start. It's also about how to justify the investments. When I come to you with a new tool that we should be using, you're going to sign off on it, right? So, we need to define success and then find the tools, to help us get there. When we're talking about setting a vision, how far ahead should teams look? Because that's tricky, right? Because it seems that everything's evolving so quickly. What kind of guidance can you give?
Yeah, and this vision claim that we're worrying about vision is the fact that we're in a state of real volatility right now. There's so many different changes. Those changes are unpredictable. We don't know when the next one's going to happen. We don't know how big it's going to be. We don't know what the next model coming out of OpenAI is going to be. Which one's at the top of the leader table right now? Which one should we be using? We've got ChatGPT and we've got Claude and we've got Gemini. Which one's the right use for this particular job right now? If I've got something that's doing 4 different transcripts of this call, which one do I use? Which is the most actionable? Which is the most valuable? It's like I can't keep up with the amount of change that's going on right now. So that vision becomes really, really important. And trying to justify the investment of these things comes into that business vision. So trying to look at how far ahead should you set it? I mean, when we think from a business perspective, when we're talking about vision, and particularly when you're anywhere near marketing and sales, it's always like at some point in the future and a little bit up, right? So like all adverts ever have always been a slightly better future. All marketing messages a slightly better future. Every sales proposal a slightly better future. So trying to work out what is the kind of gradient for that growth to get to, and how far out should we look? 5 years is too long. 10 years is too long. I mean, AI wasn't here 5 years ago, and so to have a plan that long would be ludicrous. So even a 12-month or 18-month plan is probably as far out as you can look now and trying to impact what your sales cycles are going to do. But it also depends on how quickly things are moving in your industry and how quickly you're being disrupted. Do you need to have things that are working in a tighter window? Looking at how what your kind of short term is, can you use these tools to be able to hit your capacity and hit your maximum potential right now. A medium scale, how could you do something where you could effectively, let's say you're driving up your pipeline to be able to deliver more work than you could currently deliver. What's that time scale in order to be able to get the resource in place in order to be able to deliver that work? Would be a medium stage one. Long-term one will be what's this going to do in terms of changing the kind of profitability of services that you're going to deliver, and a strategic change in there. Again, probably not much more than 12 to 18 months out now, I would think, particularly in the industries that we're in.
Yeah, and that's our approach here at Babel Quest, picking a clear use case and building from there, which allows us to stay, ambitious but adaptable as well. And I think one of the tricky things at the moment is making sure these things aren't done in silos, because it applies across sales, marketing, and operations as well. It's very easy to think, oh, this thing here can do this, and as I said, be in a silo. So what's a good example of selecting a cross-functional tool process that works well?
Yeah, so this is probably the biggest area where we have to help clients when they first come on board with us, is recognizing that lots of the stuff that you do really well is in a silo. It's like, we're really, really good at the marketing side of things. We do all these things. We've got a great presence, we've got a great brand, we've got all these channels, we can generate all kinds of noise. The challenge is that, does it translate to getting into sales? Are we generating leads that will actually talk to our sales team? Have we got the right contact information? Have we got the right context? Are they ready to do something right now? And are we looking at like the conversion rates there? Are you kind of generating on this noise to get a 10% conversion rate through to somebody talking to leads? Is it 25%? Is it 50? There's always room to improve in there. So getting some alignment across this thing. So if we think of the silos are always kind of these vertical lines within business.
Yeah.
But your customers don't care about that stuff. In each function, you have to be vertically very good at what you do, but your customers move horizontally across the organization and they spot the gaps immediately. So, generate a lead, I read all this kind of stuff. I then want to have contact with somebody, but it doesn't happen straight away. By the time somebody follows up with me 3 days later by an automated email and tries to book a meeting with me or is calling me next week, I've forgotten about that, but 200 other things to do. So I need something, timely, in context, permission-based. It all needs to work sensibly there. So planning something where you're using AI to be able to speed up a customer journey across the whole piece, you need to understand what is it that's going to add value for the customer. What are they expecting you to do? And if they think, you guys have got all the AI, you know everything there is about to be, I've dumped all this information into you with no regard for my privacy whatsoever, I've given you everything, and you've got the intent signals, respond in kind. Don't leave it to work in a different silo somewhere else. We need to speed that up and respond to what they want. So I think it is that it's getting across all of these things that are at a basic level. I really like the idea of being brilliant at the basics first, rather than getting like super whizzy on, buyer intent over here and really, really powerful lead scoring over there and chasing somebody around the internet, all these kind of, multiple different channels everywhere. Just they ask for something, you respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you mentioned lead scoring there, if marketing is scoring leads with AI, but then sales doesn't trust that process, nothing's going to work, right? But if you get marketing and sales aligned early around the lead scoring, then the whole process is much more powerful. Let's talk about the chaos. Zoom, Teams, HubSpot, they've all dropped AI summarisation for calls. We've all got, 3 or 4, I think, between us running that we might not even ask for. It's what we've termed shadow AI.
Yeah, that's so the old shadow IT stuff of people running their own apps all over the place. We all know that. Yeah, we'll give everybody the CRM, but each salesperson's got 4 or 5 different applications they're on. The shadow AI is coming into all this stuff as well. And often it's the systems that we've actually sanctioned that they're using. So we use Google Workspace. So we have Gemini just in everything. And so included in Google Meet. We also used Zoom, which now has got Zoom IQ or Zoom Workspace or whatever they're calling it this week, with a ton of summarization in there. We did also have another app which we use called Crisp, which was doing, which before those things were doing anything really useful in summarization. That was an early starter. We have that in there. If we've got clients who bring us into Teams calls, Copilot's doing the stuff in there. We've got multiple tools that are doing the same job, that are inside our organizations, that are just kind of, it's crept in without any kind of approval. We're duplicating features all over the place. we're fracturing the data. We've got lots of similar kind of things in different parts of the business. It's just sprawl.
Yeah. And it's a silent revenue killer. Like one huge thing is the browser extensions or chatbots that aren't vetted. And these tools are so easy to start using, and it might help hit short-term numbers, but they can be not compliant. They can mess up with the data, and hurt long-term performance.
Yeah, and then we got you've got prospects who are sending through very, very long documents that they put together with AI for the requirements, and then we're giving salespeople, and they're putting it into the AI and saying, "Can you write me a sales proposal based on all of the things here? Put this one out," and that's not being checked. It's not being vetted. It's not being approved internally. There's sprawl going on. You're setting poor expectations, and that's before you get anywhere near some of the underlying fundamental shifts. Like the billing model is changing too. So, you know, all of these AI tools have come in on the same subscription model that all of the other kind of SaaS platforms have come in on. But there's a fundamental difference with these things because the usage in the background is driving the cost, not whether you're a subscriber or not. So we can all be paying 20 quid a month for these things. And there's plenty of people who've been paying 20 quid a month and hardly using the thing at all. And then there's power users who are currently draining the river in order to do this, paying for 20 a month, and they're not paying for the impact of that stuff. So those models are changing. We saw HubSpot launch the Breeze credits model straight away and thought, I know exactly what that
HubSpot credits now.
HubSpot credit. Keeping up with things, but could see this happening because we're seeing that the usage model in the background is being charged by these tokens. And it's almost a little bit like us going backwards from having a mobile phone subscription that covers unlimited calls and unlimited text back to you're paying for your minutes and you're paying for your SMS that you spend, because they do bear a cost. It was always a bit of an insurance gamble. It's too big on these things. So that model is changing. So while we've now got all of these tools that we didn't ask for, that are all over the business, and you've got different teams all dependent on different parts of it, from an IT or from a revenue perspective, just trying to keep track of that when they start billing by usage, all of a sudden there's going to be bills appearing all over the place that are
It's hard to
controlled.
budget.
We've got to try to get that stuff under control. It's really important to watch this closely, because how many of these subscriptions have you got knocking about at the minute? We've got a bit of stuff in Workspace, we've got a bit of GPT, we're with this, and all of a sudden they start ticking up across multiple users. It's going to get out of control really quickly. So it's very important to watch how some of these fundamental changes are happening and control this shadow AI.
Yeah, and as you say, it's the control. So leaders need to take control, and all these kind of headaches are avoidable. What does control look like then?
Well, I think the thing that just kind of drive the point home on this stuff is kind of, well, we tolerated shadow IT for years, and kind of we'll get around and sort it out. As the battle you're always playing, the shadow AI stuff it's got an exponential power in it. It's far more dangerous in terms of its scale. It's not just having no single source of the truth and sales using one and marketing another. Each individual person's got their own silos of information that's been built up in these knowledge bases that are going on, that are running it and disconnecting. It's breaking the forecasting. It's going to be slowing your handoffs. It's going to be frustrating your customers ultimately as well when there's no consistency between those silos. It's like we're failing at scale by getting stronger and stronger in these verticals with no connection in between the horizontals. So if we look at what can we do instead, and what we're going to really look at, what is it that we need to achieve? So going back to the vision piece right now, we've got all of this volatility in front of us right now, but if we were to take that little look further out to the future and go up a little bit, what does that look like? That's where we need to start.
Yeah, so not necessarily what can this tool do, instead of we're looking at what we can achieve. And for us, HubSpot is that center. If a new AI tool doesn't integrate or adds friction, we're going to pass. We don't want more bolt-ons.
Yeah, and that's where platforms like HubSpot shine at this stuff, because that one platform, that one ecosystem for all that data, that unified data, that the built-in AI is there for a specific job. It's designed to assist you. It's that assistive intelligence. It's it's not trying to run off and do something magical somewhere. There's a specific job it has to do right here, right now, whether that is helping you out with the market analytics, helping you out with generating content or the social agents, or helping out in that initial challenging part of the prospecting bit, connecting with people, moving through to the customer agent. Those things got very, very specific tasks that they're doing that are not replacing anybody's particular job, but they are replacing lots of the tasks that are capacity based within those jobs in order to help people deliver more valuable work. So having something which is very specifically doing a set of tasks within a framework, which is where I think that the HubSpot AI works very well, because it's all in how do we add value to the customer so we get more of them, they spend more money, right?
Yeah.
Go that direction helps marketing, sales, and service align. Where the challenge with the vision of lots of these different platforms, they kind of move to general style intelligence here, is that there's no guidebook with ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or any of these things to tell you what to use as a salespeople. It's just have at it, ask it anything, but causes the sprawl.
Yeah. I think here at Babel Quest, when we're looking at tools and assessing them, we're asking, does it impact revenue? Does it fit our workflow? Does it keep data secure? Is it going to scale with us? What's the cost? What's the cost structure? Is it intuitive?
Yeah, and that's the checklist, and that, so I've seen companies thrive by following this. And one client cut tools from 6 to 1, trained the team, saw real ROI, and others tried absolutely everything and they're stuck and they're not getting anywhere with it. So the key bit for me is that there are 4 major blockers to start with that are mostly people based rather than AI based, and volatility is just one of them. That the others being around complexity, misalignment, resistance. Vision helps with all of those things, but lots of the things that we're seeing here, the volatility is the main challenge, and vision is the way to solve that. The other 3 things that we're going to look at in other sessions are really about the uncertainty that's caused by these things and how you manage that with deeper understanding, and the feeling that things are chaotic and how you deal with that by improving clarity, or the fact there's real ambiguity. I mean, one example is like, we must innovate with AI, and if we do, the robots will kill us, so we mustn't do that. There's people are stuck in that state. How do you move forward in a sensible step by step, and having agility to handle that ambiguity? So we'll cover those in other sessions. But crucially, vision helps with all of these things, and it's the first place to start. Look up a little bit. What's that? Let's aim for that position. That'll get us out of the current block.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar to CRM adoption in that respect. If your team doesn't understand why they're adopting AI, or they don't see the benefit, they're going to resist, even if it's great tech.
Yeah, and that's there's always a big, was the big question in the consulting world: why? Asking why. The problem with why is it's such a confrontational question, and nobody really knows. And when you ask them, they panic and they tell you on the fly. It's almost like asking ChatGPT a question to go back and you go, no, that's wrong. Do it again. Oh yeah, but it'll give you a different answer straight away. The way to be able to do this and understanding the why is a really crucial bit when you get the vision right. Is like understanding that there is a change somewhere in the future. So breaking why into its 2 component parts of from what cause to what end, like what's got us to this position now, why are we looking at this change, is like the cause that got to this part. There's 2 sections to it, and then if we look at like what ends, we'll often find those things are misaligned. You can also dig a bit deeper using the 5 whys framework. Well, why this, why on each of those things, and you find that there may be inherent conflict where you are right now, and setting a clearer vision for everybody so that you might understand, but does your sales team, and to the marketing team, and does the operations team, does everybody else know what you're all aiming for? Getting alignments on that is really important. So our assessment with our clients, I mean, right from the very beginning of our conversations during the sales process, is trying to understand those business goals, from what cause to what end. How ready are the team to be able to make this change? Exploring the pain points. I mean, why are you stuck? The only reason you would talk to expert consultancy like us is because you're trying to affect a change and you can't do it yourself. You've got stuck with it. We need to understand where you are in that area, and that's usually the first part of the conversation when we revisit many times over the lifetime of our relationships.
Yeah, I think the first step is always auditing your current stack. And then you've got to clearly define which business problems AI is going to solve. So again, to bring it back to the beginning of where we started, don't start with the tools, start with the outcomes.
Yeah, I've heard it said there's no AI-shaped holes.
Yeah,
Like
that's
all problems with technology. There's a hole there, let's do this. We've got to break down the process. It's still, we got backlogs. Let's put some technology and speed things up. Let's add some more effectiveness and efficiency. Parts of the challenge, I think there are AI-shaped holes. I think we're just looking in the wrong place. AI-shaped holes are when there's really bigger issues that where it's very difficult to fit the whole thing inside somebody's head and understand it all, like getting all those factors there to be able to make decisions, and the AI's just simply got a bigger head. So we can understand more of these things, and those holes that we've got are, when we're thinking about trying to solve a particular process problem to make it more effective and more efficient, AI is good for thinking about productivity as a massive concept right across the whole thing, because it can see multiples of those opportunities for effectiveness and efficiency being affected at different parts of the process. So I think that part of it is a great way to be able to see and improve productivity as a vision statement rather than, effective and efficient ways of doing things is much closer to us now and in that world of volatility. So I think that's where maybe as a touching on the difference between volatile now and a vision for the future, a bigger concept over there that AI is better at solving productivity at a larger scale than these things right now. But don't expect the volatility to go away. There's always said that change is the only constant. What can change is your response to it. It's not going to change.
yeah. And Eric, we've talked almost quite negatively, I think, so far about AI and avoiding chaos. But let's flip it. What's the biggest competitive advantage you see for organizations that truly embrace this strategic control of their AI future?
Here's the bottom line: the organizations that thrive are the ones that are proactive. They don't wait; they choose with intent. Just turning all these things on because they're there and wondering what might happen. We just continue with more and more volatility and more difficulty, and you stay stuck where you are. Having a vision, moving with intent towards it, being proactive, saying, actually, do you know what, we need to lead on this stuff, and it will come from the top of the organization. But you should also recognize that there will be people all over your business who are in positions of leadership who know something about this and can make an improvement. Listen to them, allow them to use the tools and collaborate. But it really is proactivity and intent. So the vision enables both of those things and gets them aligned.
And I'm going to put my sales role here. For any other sales leaders listening who feels that, I don't know, I need to be the driver, what first actionable step can you advise them they should take that to start their journey of, intentional AI adoption?
I think you need to make, so the very first thing that we did that made a difference was being able to create a statement of intent inside the business first, of saying as a team, we put together some AI principles. So we need to let people know what was safe to do and what we wanted them to know, what our guidance was with it. So the first thing, one of the big blockers for moving forward is just that uncertainty. We don't know what we're allowed to do or not. So make it clear, like subscribe to a paid version of one of the platforms, one that's most suitable to you, and give everybody access to it and say, this is something, it's not training the outside world, this is our data, it's safe to put things in here, but being clear on it that this is your assistant. It's not the thing that's going to put stuff out there. There's a whole load of these principles we put together, but basically telling somebody, we've just given the whole organization, everybody's got their own personal assistant, but it's your assistant. It's not accountable for what you do. You can't delegate accountability to it. You're still accountable for everything it does, but it's just going to help you move faster. And we want you to use it. We want you to enable you to add better value out here to your customers, to improve productivity, whatever it is. You just it's all about enablement. It's not about replacing people's jobs, but you've got to make it safe and it's compliance. So the simplest thing first off is, the GDPR applies. Make it clear. Write it down, get people to accept that as a statement, and then you can start moving forward with innovation, just making it safe.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking there about people and culture beyond the tools themselves, how crucial is internal culture, the willingness to experiment, to learn, to adapt in determining an organization's success as they become a driver of their AI strategy?
we what we do is kind of digital transformations, it's system-based stuff. But all of the change, every digital transformation that happens is cultural first. It's like we're thinking like people and process and technology. The people have got to change what they're doing, and that is often driven by their policies and their principles and the procedures and all the rest. There's lots of these P's about the place, but it is people, and it is changing the way that they behave and the way that they act and how you support them to do those things. So culture is massively important because you need to have a culture of safety, of experimentation and collaboration. And effectively, you're just bringing a new army of workers to come and join you in this endeavor. And if you don't give them clear guidance on what it is that they're meant to be doing to support the mission, they're just going to go all over the place. So trying to keep some control over culture is absolutely critical to being able to drive this kind of proactive change.
Yeah, and the people side, as you say, we've covered it again. I mean, I think for leaders, how can they enable their teams with the skills and the confidence to truly leverage AI strategically rather than just mechanically using it like a tool?
Um, it's a good question. So we talked first off, there's having some principles and a framework in there to be able to make it. I think then we've got to lead by example. I think leaders in the business need to be able to show, look, this is a way that we can speed things up. This is a way that we can make an impact. This is a way that we can show by using this AI, we actually deliver better value for the customer. So there can be things where, we could look at it from, let's take an example with us. With using the AI meeting preparation tools in HubSpot and the summarisation and the follow-up and the automation of the tasks and all of those kind of things, you get from a position where you've got, a high-level salesperson being able to do 3 good sales calls a day with all the follow-up and the prep and everything going around to being able to do 5 or 6. So you could say there's an immediate productivity gain. You've doubled your sales capacity in one single salesperson. But if you've also then got them on rails and it's easy to bring other ones on when you ramp them faster, then it's far easier to be able to scale it up. But if you think about the impact on the customers themselves, if you have the ability to be able to turn up to a meeting super prepared, have a proper agenda in place, follow up immediately afterwards with all of the tasks in there, issuing the notes to them to show them what they need to do in order to get to the next one, be prepared better for the next meeting, their purchasing process moves so much faster, their evaluation moves faster, and it adds more and more value to them, as well as adding more value to you at the same time. It's grabbing that kind of the impact that's happening of using this technology and making it real for everybody to say, just look how far you've come in such a short time. Look at the difference of the impact that you're making. And, all of the other things, the revenue, the profitability and everything starts flowing pretty soon afterwards. But we've got to look at the impact and make that real for people.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, Eric. If you had to distill all the advice down that we've discussed today to one core principle for our audience, what would it be to ensure that they're truly owning their AI future?
You need to set your vision. Look a little bit out, a little bit up. There's no point in complaining about the AI vendors not having vision. They do. It's just not yours. We covered that at the top. It's like complaining to your sat nav manufacturer because it's not putting the destination in. Right? That's your job. Right? You've got to put that in. Set your destination. Get the team behind it. Doesn't matter what AI tools you use. Just use them. And as long as you've got a vision, that's the first point.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's about being, having that vision, being proactive, build clarity, train your team, and let AI amplify what works. Well, thank you. For those listening, we'll link to all the resources we mentioned in the webinar notes. This conversation is the beginning. So until next time, thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Amy.